Let's do a replica belt collection. This time we're not going to rush through it. We're actually going to take a little bit of time. But kicking us off on the modern side, we have the WWE title that The Rock debuted. We have the spinner belt. We have the rated R. We have the undisputed. Then over here we have the WWE title, the blue universal, the eco-friendly, the red universal, the current Intercontinental Championship, the white Intercontinental Championship, the 24/7 title, the Raw tag, the Cruiserweight, the WWE United Kingdom, NXT 2.0 Women's, NXT 2.0 Men's. We have the NXT title. We have the NXT Women's. We have the NXT North American. We have the NXT Tag title. Then over here, we have the Miz Spinner. Then we have the official IWGP version 4. We have the John Cena United States Spinner. We have the AEW World title. We have the WCW United States title. We have the real handcrafted Fiend belt. This is the only non-replica in the collection. Then over here in the old school side, we have the WWF Big Eagle. This is the Attitude Era belt. Then we have the block logo Big Eagle. Then we have the Brahma Bull, the Smoking Skull on the bottom. Then we have the Winged Eagle. This is the dual-plated Winged Eagle. Then we have the TNA Midwest. Then we have the $1 Million title, and then the Jeff Hardy Immortal. This cabinet's a little weird. This is also the cabinet that blew up. If you saw that video, the side of it completely popped off. There's still a little bit of glass on the floor. But here we have the Attitude Era mid-card title kind of deal. We have the Attitude Era tag title. We have the Attitude Era IC, the European, the hardcore title. Then this is the Legacy belt DTOF. We have the Stone Cold Legacy. We have the Ric Flair Legacy. We have the Macho Man. And then we have the John Cena on the bottom. Then up top, we have the ECW. This is the WWE ECW. Here we have the ROH Classic World title, the Classic TV, the Classic Tag, and then for whatever reason, the current ROH title. Then over here, we are completely out of room. I definitely need like a ton of new shelves. We have the United States title, the dual-plated tag title. We have the AEW official TNT. Then under that, we have the Classic Shields IWGP version 4. I have 2 of them for some reason. And then, like I said, I'm waiting for more shelves to come into stock. So on this recliner, we have the women's tag team title. We have the current, well, actually, no, I guess not the current anymore. We have the ROH tag. We have the ECW World title. Then we have the John Cena Signature Series. Then we have the classic WCW World title. Then we have the Mankind Signature Series belt. And then the Rey Mysterio Signature Series belt. Yeah, this is a mess. This just fell over. And then lastly, we have a belt that's not mine. This belt's being given away. If you want to be entered in to win, all you have to do is make sure you subscribe to the channel and then comment WrestleMania 39. You have to be subscribed to the YouTube channel. It's a Fondue Big Gold. Winner will be announced very soon. But yeah, that's the entire replica belt collection. And like I said, the room's a mess and we definitely need more detox. Can I spin the rated R belt? Now, there was this rumor on TikTok for the longest time that I actually never touched my belts. And it went on for like 4 months, I think. But here we go. I'm touching the belt. Let's spin it. I would spin the WWE title, but I actually have a piece of cardboard sticking down there to stop it from spinning. But yeah, here you go. Spinning the rated R title. So for the first time ever, I bought a belt that I don't actually like. I only bought it because it was a good deal, and everyone on TikTok always asked if I have it. So I pulled the trigger on it, and I kind of think this is one of the ugliest belts of all time, but maybe seeing it in person will change my mind. I can't wait for you guys all to see it. It's going to be awesome. Got our first look at a brand new John Cena spinner belt, and this one actually looks pretty cool. And this is the John Cena Farewell Tour Bakersfield spinner belt. And it's pretty much the Los Angeles Lakers colors. I don't know too much about like Bakersfield. I don't know if that's like a city or like a subsection of Los Angeles. I'm guessing they did this because they already had the LA belt, which was for the debut, so they couldn't have 2. But I like this one a lot, and honestly, this is up there as one of my favorites. So you have the yellow, you have the purple. I don't watch basketball, but I can still appreciate this. This honestly reminds me of the Scorpio Sky belt when he was TNT champion. The back of this is awesome. So you have like the Bakersfield logo, and which is pretty much the Lakers logo, I think, last times now. It's pretty much a copy and paste of the belt like we've seen thousands of times. But I really do like the way this one looks. And then, of course, you have the belt bag. Now, this has went through so many different price changes. These belts themselves have went through so many price changes.
I believe at one point they were $700 or $800. Then they went down to $750, then $699, and now $599. This, of course, is because WWE is just putting out so much supply. There's way too much supply than there is demand for this. So I think we'll see these to start staying at this $599 price point, because a belt hasn't sold out from these John Cena belts since, I believe, Mania. So there's been belts on here for over a month, and we're going to get probably, I think it's like 22 more of these, and then probably a Legacy belt or Signature Series belt for him breaking the record. But let me know what you guys think. Are you going to get one of these if you're from Bakersfield or LA? I think this is a need pretty much. I won't be getting this. My plan going forward is I'll probably only get these belts whenever I'm actually going to the event. So SummerSlam, whenever they do the New York or New Jersey belt, I'll get one of those. And then that's probably it. I might get his very last one because that's kind of iconic. But yeah, I mean, it's nice to see WWE adapt and lower these prices because these belts are just sitting. And honestly, I would not be surprised at some point they might just start to pivot and not release these because they're just sitting there. But yeah, let me know what you guys think.
I never noticed, but WWE Shop actually made some upgrades to the WWE Championship title belt. So this is the one you can get in 2024. It's got a nice texture back there, which is the texture you'd see on TV when this thing was on TV. But if you were to go back in time and buy the same belt in 2014, it looks a little bit different. You can see the texture is a lot more shallow, while this one's more of a rough and deeper texture. But this is what the belt looked like when it debuted in 2014. This was when it was made by Orange County Chopper, I believe. And then this is when Wildcat fully took over with the leather. They went with like a nice deeper one. But like I said, I never noticed the difference, and I don't think it was ever really specified. They just started doing it on just at some point on WWE Shop. Another thing, the gold seems a little bit deeper on the later releases than the previous ones. Same size and everything, but yeah, which do you prefer? Do you prefer the deeper leather texture, or do you prefer the shallow one? And honestly, if you're like a completist of the WWE Championship, do you need both of these? I mean, I guess you could get like this one, and then you could get this one and paint the swoosh black. But honestly, what do you guys think? Do you need both? Do I have the U.S. title that was used in 2014 to 2015? So I do. It's just over here, and it's never really seen because it's stacked on top of another belt. The reason is I need way more DTOF shelves. I've said this a bunch of times, but DTOFs are $100, which isn't too bad for 4 belt cases or 4 belts that you can stack. But they are at IKEA, and IKEA is really expensive to ship anything. So I usually wait until they're in stock. And lately, the DTOFs just haven't been in stock at my local IKEA. And the other IKEA, the closest one besides my local one, is like probably 2 hours away. So yeah, I do have the 2014-2015 US title. It's 2mm, so it's not the best, so I'd love to upgrade it. And what 2mm is it's just the plates are super thin, and it's not that heavy. I much prefer, personally, the current US title. Let me know what you guys think. Are you more this US title or the current one? Because yeah, me current, but I think the US spinner outweighs them all. Let's take a look at some belts that never made it to TV. So first off, we have the original Penny Tag Team Championship. So this belt looked a little different at first. It has a maroon strap, and then it does feature nameplates. That says Chris Jericho there, Big Show there. I actually like the belt with nameplates. Of course, we got this belt. It was just on a black strap with no nameplates whatsoever. But after that, we also have probably the most famous belt that never made it to TV, the Real Rock belt. Now, the reasoning was, or the excuse was, that this belt was lost in shipping. The Rock says otherwise. Stephanie McMahon says it was lost in shipping. Who knows the real reason? After that, we do have this unused Intercontinental Championship. This was sent in by Wildcat Belts to WWE. Wildcat Belts did this as a way to show off their work. It worked because they make all of the WWE titles now. After that, we do have the unused Cruiserweight Tag Team title belts. Now, supposedly, these are there. They're just in a crate in the backstage, and these will never, ever be seen because the Cruiser 205 Live is just gone. After that, we do have the Hogan Mystery Belt. Now, this belt was used at like 2 house shows, never seen again. A lot of people said that the reasoning was that it dug into Hulk Hogan's little Hulkster, so he didn't like the way it felt when he wore it. And then next up, the final belt, for whatever reason, is super zoomed in. We have this Global Force Wrestling X Division Championship title belt, which is straight up just the NXT title that This is awful. I feel like they definitely would have got sued for this, and this actually almost happened before someone was like, we cannot put this on TV. Which of the unused belts is your favorite? What if I told you one of AEW's nicest title designs isn't actually even used on TV? Let me show you the belt. This is the AEW Elite General Manager Invitational Tournament Championship title belt from AEW Games. It was made by Belt Fan Dan, and I don't know, something about this belt is just too good. I love this belt when it's first revealed. I don't remember who won this. I believe it was a 2K YouTuber. I don't remember which one, but it's on a white strap. It looks incredible. The side plates are the only thing that I'm iffy about. I feel like the dark blue or the light blue just doesn't fit. Like it could have been gray or even black, and it would look a little bit better. But the main plate's where it's at. It's got that eagle up at the top where a logo would usually be. Then the Invitational Tournament Champion. Then I even love the AEW Games at the bottom, and then the Elite General Manager just pops so well. I mean, I really wish they would repurpose this belt. I don't know what they would have used it for, because AEW does have a lot of titles, don't get me wrong. But I don't know, something about this AEW Elite belt is just so nice, and I'd love to have one. Maybe now that AEW is coming out with Fight Forever, they'll have a tournament for that, and maybe we'll enter that tournament and somehow win. But I'm going to be honest, I haven't played a wrestling game in quite a bit. So yeah, I doubt we'll win it, though.
There are a couple more John Cena Signature Series belts on WWE Shop, and they're going to keep pumping these out, and even though they're not selling very well. So first off, we have the Tampa Bay one, or I guess not Tampa Bay, but the Tampa spinner, and this one's based off the Tampa Bay Buccaneers like iconic creamsicle jersey. And then they end up doing a Knoxville, Tennessee one, which also is pretty much the same thing. It's just a little bit lighter shade. And you can tell by the prices, there's already $100 difference. And even if you go down here a little bit, they're dropped from $750. Then they just aren't selling, so they drop down to $699 and now $599. I definitely think WWE's oversaturating the market. I don't know how limited these are. This one is interesting. I'm definitely done with these. I'm really interested. There's one guy I know of who's like a giant John Cena fan who's collecting all of these at the moment. But I really want to know if there's anyone else out there who's trying to collect every single one of these, because I think he's got 23 different dates left before he's retired. So we have pretty much a minimum of 23 new spinner belts coming. So let me know, what do you guys think about this? Are you picking one of these up? I mean, these are pretty much like the event belts themselves. Like, this is just another version of the network logo that they make. It's not for everyone, and it's definitely not selling too well. I'm wondering if they're going to drop the rundown from, I don't know what this is limited to. Usually it's like 120 to 150. I'm wondering if they're going to have to drop this down to like 50. And I mean, $5.99 might have to be the price they're going with. Let me know what you guys think, though.
Some people are confused why I put Champion on my custom hardcore title. Now, I do believe that it said Champion on the original belt. It definitely says Champion on the replica, but let's look at like the history or like some pictures of the original hardcore title with people wearing the belt, and we can see if we did it right or we did it wrong. Because if I did it wrong, I can always take the duct tape off and re-duct tape it that says Champion. Taking this off, I believe this is when Mankind was first awarded the hardcore title, and if I'm not mistaken, right there it says Champion. I may be wrong though, just because his hand's over the belt, but I still think that says Champion. Next up, we have Raven when he was the hardcore champion, and this belt, I didn't realize how beat up this belt got. This doesn't even say Champion, this says Champion. And then finally we have Al Snow right here, and this says Champion as well, where it's just kind of busted. So I do think we made the right decision making it say Champion. Let me know though, should I change it to Champion or should I leave it how it is? And man, I really didn't realize that, like, how beat up this hardcore title got. But yeah. Let's compare the Scratch logo Intercontinental Championship to the Network logo. Now, I've always heard that this one has way better quality plates, so let's kind of see if that's true. So, it does have the Scratch logo WWE compared to the Network logo here. Now, other than that, I mean, I feel like this belt looks thicker, even though it's not. They're both 4mm. But yeah, I feel like the Scratch logo just looks thicker. It also is a different color gold. This is a much softer gold than the deeper gold this one is. And honestly, I think the etching on the globe is deeper. It actually is way deeper on the Scratch logo than the Network. Other than that, moving up to, like, the stars are a little bit better on the Scratch logo. The side plates, They look pretty much the same. But yeah, it's definitely the globe. That's the big difference. What about the letters? I'm just kind of feeling the letters are a little bit more raised on the scratch logo as well. So the scratch logo is a little bit more detailed, which is actually really surprising. I didn't think there'd be any difference. Customized Roman Reigns Signature Series belt is unbelievable. So this is made by Drip Belts, and he wanted to make this because he thought he could do a better job than WWE Shop did. So what he did was he customized some classic Universal Championship side plates, and the biggest draw, or the biggest emphasis on this, is behind that WWE logo. On the Roman Reigns Signature Series belt, it's built into the strap, this strap design, but he actually made that an actual metal plate, which looks awesome. Now, this belt has been restoned by Richard Simpson, or Simpson Restoning, so it's got those nice blood red gems. It's on a real leather strap. It's got an upgraded bars on it, so those side bars right there. It's on an upgraded base plate, so this thing is all kitted out. It's got a beautiful leather strap. The leather strap on this is awesome. It's got the Roman Reigns side plates. Now, if you want this belt for yourself, it's $1,700, or it's $1,280 if you provide the plates yourself. So let me know, what do you guys think about this? Would you add this to your collection? Should I add this to my collection? I think this belt is absolutely gorgeous though, and I think Drip Belts did a wonderful job on this. And yeah, and he DM'd me and we discussed all kinds of info about this belt, and he did a lot of work to make this thing happen. The WWE Red Universal Championship probably has one of the worst title debuts of all time. It was debuted at SummerSlam, I think in 2014, 2015, somewhere around that time, and it got booed out of the building just because people wanted a specific title design, a unique title design. Instead, it was just the WWE title on a red strap. But let's take a look at everyone who held this specific title. Now, of course, the first holder of the Universal Championship was Finn Balor, who held it less than a day because I believe he dislocated his shoulder really badly, or he hurt his shoulder really badly after winning the belt. After Finn Balor, of course, it was Kevin Owens. I remember when he won this title, I was so hyped for this. He won in that Fatal 4-Way match. I think it was a Fatal 4-Way elimination match. But yeah, that was pretty awesome. After Kevin Owens, we, of course, have Goldberg. Goldberg held it from Fastlane until WrestleMania, where he lost it to Brock Lesnar. After Lesnar, of course, we have Roman Reigns, who sadly had to give it up because of his leukemia diagnosis. And after Roman Reigns, we have Seth freaking Rollins. And then lastly, the last holder of the Red Universal Championship was The Fiend Bray Wyatt. WWE has debuted another brand new title belt. This is for the LFG Championship, or the show that they have. I believe it's like a New Age Tough Enough kind of thing. I haven't watched any of it, but this belt, weirdly enough, is not given to the winners, as far as I understand. It's actually given to the coaches. So I believe Undertaker was awarded this belt. Sorry if there were spoilers there. And the belt itself, it's interesting. It kind of reminds me of the Tough Enough belt that they had when Stone Cold hosted it. This time it's the Undisputed Championship, the network logo. This time with a green swoosh, and then they have like LFG over the side of it, which kind of like cuts the WWE logo off a little bit. It's interesting. And then on the side, it's got, I think, Undertaker side plates. This picture is not the best, but this, a lot of people get mad whenever I show off the new belts, like the Evolve titles or the, what is that other one? WWE, whatever they're doing for the independents. They get mad and say there's too many titles. These belts are never actually going to be defended on WWE television. This belt will never be defended. Neither will the WWE independent belt. That's going to be strictly independence. And then the Evolve is going to be on the Evolve show. I feel like if you have a wrestling show that's kind of standalone, you almost need a belt to fight for, at least in my opinion. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this LFG title. Is the show good? I mean, I didn't really like watching Tough Enough too much, honestly. And I really don't think WWE Shop is ever going to sell this title. But let me know what you guys think. Not only is John Cena a 17-time World Heavyweight Champion, breaking the record, he also holds a record that will never be broken. And that is, he is the only wrestler in WWE history to hold every single WWE title design that they've had since the company switched over from WWF. And I'm not counting like the custom belts because you can't count those. But let's go through them all. So first off, he was the Undisputed Champion holding this belt. Then, of course, he debuted the spinner belt. He also held the WWE title from 2013. He held the WWE Championship from 2014. And of course, he held the Undisputed Universal Championship. So that's every single title design, non-unique belt that's ever been used in WWE as the WWE title.
And another point, even counting custom title belts, he also held the Rated R spinner. So the only WWE title design that he has never held custom-wise would be the eco-friendly belt. Kind of a crazy fact and something that can never be done before, like ever, which is kind of crazy. It has finally happened. WWE has unveiled the unused ECW Championship title belt on the WWE Vault YouTube page. Now, this was the belt that was replacing the iconic ECW title for the WWE ECW version. Kind of confusing thing to say. And I do have to say, this thing looks absolutely awful. This would have been one of the worst designs WWE's ever used for a belt. I mean, the plate is super elongated. It's the weirdest shape I've ever seen. The leather doesn't seem that good on it either. And it just has a lot of chains for whatever reason. The main plate's got chains on the side. Looks like you got barbed wire behind the ECW logo. Then you have chains on the side plates. Not the biggest fan. Now, I would not be surprised to see WWE actually release replicas of this in the near future, maybe as a special ECW belt for like the 30th anniversary. I don't know how old ECW is, but I definitely want to know what your guys' thoughts are on this belt. I did not get to watch the video just yet, but it's definitely interesting to say the least. But yeah, let me know what your guys' thoughts are in the comments below. And would you guys buy this if this became a replica or was available as a replica? I definitely want to know what your guys' thoughts are.
So why is WWE switch to Velcro from snaps? You're not a fan, it looks cheap. So the really simple reason is snaps are actually a pain to get on. Like if you've ever had a replica belt and tried to put this thing around your waist, it definitely takes some time. Most of the time you have to like turn the belt this way so it's like this side's facing out because these are actually really hard to do. So you have these, you have to line them up perfectly like this. And then sometimes, even when they're lined up, you have to push in really hard. And when you're on TV, you don't have time for that. I mean, there's been a couple times where wrestlers or referees haven't even been able to snap the belts on wrestlers. But with Velcro, I mean, it's simple as just, like, see how hard that was to pull? You just have to rip it off, and then it would just be that, it's on. Instead of having to line these up, like I said, line them up like that to get them snapped in. I don't have a problem with WWE doing it because they're on TV. They want to do whatever looks the best, and what looks the best is getting the belt on and off super fast versus like having to struggle with snaps. I do like what they're doing now where they're having the fake snaps on belts, but WWE using Velcro isn't even something new. Macho Man used Velcro when he had the Winged Eagle belt. So yeah, it's just like a preference. If it bothers you that much, like it bothers you, but I don't see WWE going away from it.
The other day, we talked about the super unique Gift of the Gods title from Lucha Underground, and some people wanted to know what other belts they had. But if you don't know what the Gift of the Gods belts are, there are 7 medallions, and once you get all 7 medallions placed in the belt, you can kind of use it like a Money in the Bank briefcase. And you can see here's the detail on all the different plates, including the medallions, like one of my favorite belts ever. But yeah, here's the next belt, which is a Lucha Underground Trios belt on a red strap, and I honestly think this thing looks awesome. You can see it up here. It's got masks on the side plates and on the main plate, and I just love that like feathered border. I think it's feathers all around like the main plate, which I think looks awesome. What a beautiful, beautiful title. I love to get one of these as well. And the last belt is the Lucha Underground World Championship, which is absolutely massive. This belt is huge. The main plate is giant on it. I love the logo in the middle of the mask and just all the details all around the belt. And then, of course, it has a couple of side plates. And overall, I think this belt is beautiful. And this is actually the second version of their world title because their first version literally got ripped in half. Like, the wrestler literally just pulled it apart, which is kind of crazy.
Do I have all the Intercontinental titles? Now, I don't, but I have a lot of them. So over here on my modern side, I have the current Intercontinental title. This is a decent design. Then below that, we have the white strap Intercontinental title. This is probably most people's favorite Intercontinental belt. Then we move over to the Attitude Era side or the Classic Era, and we have the Ruthless Aggression / Attitude Era Intercontinental title. Now, I'm missing the previous one, the one that looked like this. On a black strap with the block logo, WF logo, which I don't know. I'll probably get that eventually. Then I'm also missing the like nugget textured Intercontinental title. That's the same one as this, but I don't know if I'll ever get that. Now, before that, there was also like the one before the Attitude Era one. There was the classic Intercontinental title with the red block logo. Don't know if I'll get that one either. Then even before that, there's a bunch of other ones like the trophy style titles. I really don't know if I'll ever end up getting those. But there's also that Wildcat prototype Intercontinental title that I could see us getting. So this is the thing, and man, do I have so many questions. First off, why? Second off, how is this thing won? And also, I'm pretty sure what they produce is predetermined. But on the main plate, it kind of reminds me of an old school TNA X Division Championship, which it fits perfectly. The main plate, I think that's positioned. If not, that's a missed opportunity, or it should be, you know, the male. You know what I'm saying. Then it has undisputed champions of you know what, with the name right there across the middle, with the giant globe, which is nice. The strap's interesting. It's already starting to like bend. The side plates have two Z's, which side plates could be a little bit more. I'm a little bit disappointed there. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, how is this thing won? How is this defended? Yeah, I really don't know. But, I mean, overall, I guess it's not a terrible design. I say 25,000 likes, we'll buy one and add it to the collection. We'll put it right in the middle of the display cases.
I get this question asked constantly. What do I use to hold up my belts? Because it's pretty important, because if you have a real belt with a leather strap, like this big gold right here, and you sit it down, the leather will bend. So what are these? These are just plate holders from Walmart. You can get them in the picture frame aisle, or maybe they're picture frame holders. I don't know. But they're at Walmart. They're like a couple bucks. There's a lot of different varieties. But there's like a clear one. There's this black one that also comes from Walmart. Then there's some actual belt sellers, like Belts by Dan sells these. There's a couple other ones as well. For me, I literally just use these because if not, you can see right here, I'd let this belt sit down too long and the leather's a little bent. And there's really no way of fixing that unless you like hold it there for an extended period of time. But it's really important for a belt, especially like the Ric Flair Legacy belt, where ignore the dust, where if you set that on there, the gem would like fall out or something. I use it for, I honestly need to get more of these, like for the Undertaker belt. I use it on the spinner down there and the network logo. It's really important, and it will save your belts in the long run. I just realized I never talked about the new Triple H belts on WWE Shop because I was on a plane for WrestleMania when these all released, so I just didn't have time to make a video of it. So let's take a look at them. So first off, you have this World Heavyweight Championship, and they all use the normal like Triple H Signature Series vibe with the like his logo behind. This one's interesting because the World Heavyweight Championship is like bordered in jean jackets, so it's kind of when he came back in 2002. Now, this doesn't really make sense because Triple H wasn't really wearing this when he had the World Heavyweight title. This was during Evolution, so I really don't think it should have the jean, but it's an interesting concept. Now, these were all sold at the WrestleMania Superstore, but I didn't actually get to the belt counter at all. Then we have like this bronzed WWF Big Eagle, this kind of DX style, which I do kind of like. I like that when they change the plates up a little bit. And this thing looks pretty interesting. And then now we have the Authority belt. This one I really like just because of the Triple H side plates. I think those are really awesome. Then you have like the King. This one, I like these belts, but I don't love them. I guess that's the best way to put it. And then lastly, we do have the 30 years kind of legacy belt. I did plan on getting this, but like I said, I did not want to wait in that Superstore line. There was a giant line to get into the Superstore, and there was a giant line to the belt counter. So I just skipped it all and just went to WWE World. But this is very Triple H, I think. Like the full main plate, it just screams Triple H. Then you do have two side plates on it, which are kind of like sledgehammer heads, which I kind of like. But there's no other plates. I think that this whole, like, I guess sledgehammer side isn't actually a plate. But I still like this a lot. I probably will pick this up. Maybe when it ships into July. You guys will have to let me know which of these should I get. Should I get all of them? I mean, if I were going to get any, I'd probably get this weird, like, big gold with the jean jacket and the legacy belt. But yeah, I bought another belt collection, and everything I got is pretty much for sale. So first off, I did get the WWE United States Championship title belt. This is the network logo from WWE Shop, and I don't believe that this is on Shop anymore. And all the belts kind of seem to have gotten a little bit rarer since Fanatics took over, since they're not really restocking the belts. Then I have the Attitude Era Championship. This, of course, is the version 1. It's not the brand new version 2, but it's still a pretty nice title belt. Behind that, once again, I have the WCW United States Championship. Honestly, I've gotten so many of these in, it is crazy. This is probably like my 6th or 7th. And then I have the WCW Big Gold Belt. And then lastly, of course, the Undisputed right there. But this is the first time I've actually had a WCW Big Gold, I believe. The plates on this are pretty thick. And honestly, all these belts are pretty nice. The AEW title belt's mine. It just lost its spot up there. But yeah, if you're interested in any of these belts, definitely reach out to me on DM on IG. You can send me an email at wickbelts@gmail.com. But yeah, the Undisputed is already sold though, so you can't get that one. We got our first look at the new Evolve Championship title belts. WWE Evolve, it's like the developmental for NXT, I guess. I've not watched it, but the titles do look pretty cool. I really like the main plate design. There's a lot of glare on this picture, so it's kind of hard to see, but it looks like it's the classic Evolve logo with the WWE logo in the middle with like a Saturn-y planet shape. Looks like you have 4 grommets with black or silver and purple. And then I believe you have custom side plates on there as well. I really like the side plate designs. Honestly, I think this belt looks great with the men and women's. It definitely reminds me of the Cruiserweight Championship WWE had years ago. I definitely want to know what your guys' thoughts are. I personally would definitely pick one of these up if it came to shop eventually. I don't know if it ever will. We still haven't seen the WWE ID belts come to shop. WWE has a lot of championships. They're not really used by the main roster or anything, and I know people are going to be complaining about it. Oh, WWE doesn't need more championships. But this is a whole different wrestling show, and I feel like a wrestling show without title belts would be a very boring show. Like, what are they really fighting over if it's not for a belt? At least in my opinion. So I'm fine with this. I'm surprised they haven't came out with tag team titles. I'm sure that's going to come down eventually. Maybe I need to watch Evolve. I think it's on Tubi or Tubi. I don't know what that channel is, but the belts look good. I think the white strap looks awesome with this. It really goes good with that silver and the purple. But I would probably get the men's belt just because, I don't know. I like the black strap and it's a little bit bigger. But yeah, let me know what your guys' thoughts are on this. If you guys watch Evolve, who should win the Evolve title first? And I think this looks better than the original Evolve title when it was an indie promotion, I believe. I wish I really remembered what it looked like, but I think it was kind of similar to this. Let me know in the comments below.
I should regret buying the Daniel Bryan eco-friendly belt because why would you spend $400 on wood? So this belt was made of wood. It's got a hemp strap. It's got really crappy gems, and the belt was $400, but I got it for $300, so that's a steal in my opinion. But joking aside, yeah. So when this belt was announced or shown off on TV, I thought it was going to be the price of a commemorative belt, but I don't regret it whatsoever because it is the most unique belt I have. Like, you see all these belts. It's more unique than the Fiend belt. It's more unique than the $1 million title because it's made of effing wood, like this guy says. It's super cool, and not only that, this belt is not $400 anymore if you want to buy one. Because Daniel Bryan left WWE, they no longer sell these, and they're becoming more and more rare. So if you want an eco-friendly belt yourself, you're going to have to spend $600, $700, $800 on effing wood. And honestly, it's worth it. I'm glad that I got mine when I did because it's so unique and it's so cool. And now this belt is so expensive, and I don't know if I'd spend $600, $700, $800 on effing wood. But I mean, maybe I'd spend $5,000 on the real one too. You're completely right. I should regret buying the real handcrafted Fiend belt. Well, taking into account that this belt, there's only 8 of them available in the world for collectors, and there's only one that is hand signed by Bray Wyatt on the front. Mine. And I should also regret buying this for $3,000 when I've had 2 offers of over $50,000 for the belt. Not even taking into account the value, I think it is the second most unique custom wrestler specific championship. Only other belt that's more unique in my opinion is the eco-friendly, but I'm sure you hate that belt as well. But yeah, I definitely regret picking this thing up. I had the replica of this before I got the real one. I loved it then. I think Bray Wyatt and The Fiend was such a unique character, such a cool character. There's zero chance I would regret this. Now, I personally sold a silver ECW belt. I don't think there's any other belt in the collection that I regret picking up. And this is the one I'm most glad I actually picked up. I was nervous getting it, spending $3,000 on a belt at the time, but I'm so glad I did.
Has the hype for the new John Cena belts just kind of died? I know they're releasing so many of them. Just today, they released the St. Louis spinner belt, and this, of course, is $750. Then I think last week, maybe early last week or late last week, we had the John Cena Dayton spinner. And then even I think like 2 weeks ago, we got the Dallas spinner, and they're all still available. They're not almost gone. And I think everyone's kind of suffering from a little bit of fatigue. These are really expensive. And I think we're probably going to get like five, not five, probably 10 to 15 more. And on top of that, we're going to be getting a John Cena Signature Series or Legacy belt to kind of commemorate him breaking the 17 championship, like record breaking reign, just like they did for Gunther and Roman Reigns for breaking like the time held. So I personally don't plan on buying any of these belts unless I'm actually going to the show, except maybe the last John Cena one because I think it'd be kind of cool. Yeah, let me know. Are you guys going to be picking up any of these new John Cena belts, or are you all out on these belts?
So as you guys know, I got the $1,200 limited Travis Scott Hardcore Championship title belt. And as you guys know, I'm completely out of room when it comes to championship title belts. So in your guys' opinion, does the Travis Scott really justify being in like one of the grailish kind of belt cases? These are my higher tier belts, kind of. I mean, I got the Uso belt up there just because I liked it next to the Roman Reigns belt. I got the two Goldens. I have the Real Fiend belt that's signed by Bray Wyatt, and I have the IWGP version 4. The AEW lost its spot. It was up there, but it lost its spot to the WrestleMania 41 belt. So do I put it up there? Do I like demote one of these belts, like maybe the Roman Reigns Undisputed or the Roman Reigns Signature Series mean? Or do I kind of put it in one of the belt cases? I have 3 hardcore champions. So I have the Travis Scott, I have the WF hardcore title, and then I have the WCW hardcore title. Should I kind of make a case just of hardcore titles? Do I kind of just set it off to the side and wait until I get better shelves and then do something? Let me know what you guys think. Or should I just sell all the belts and start over? What do you guys think? Here we have the original hardcore title and then the new Travis Scott hardcore title. So let me know which one you guys like more. The classic with the Winged Eagle belt or the modern with the Undisputed belt that's kind of all broke up. I really think that they should have never got rid of the hardcore title. They should have just upgraded every time there was a new title design. So whenever the Undisputed became a thing, the Attitude Era belt should have been the hardcore title. Then whenever the Undisputed was replaced with the Spinner belt, you should have had an Undisputed Hardcore. And whenever the Spinner belt was replaced with that belt, a Hardcore Spinner would have been awesome. I'm honestly surprised they didn't do something like make this a natural belt. It's a really cool title belt. And I mean, it is expensive. $1,200 is crazy for a belt, but it is super limited. And I do like it. I think it's kind of cool. Let me know, do you guys like my custom one we made a couple years ago better than the Travis Scott? I know a lot of people don't like Travis Scott as a person. I don't know anything about that. But yeah, and one thing I'm noticing, this is the Undisputed belt, and you got the black gems right there. But instead of going with the textured backing, they just went with a leather stamp, and it's not like on there right, which I think that's part of the design. It's supposed to be crooked. But yeah, I think I gotta go. I gotta go with the classic Winged Eagle. It's an iconic belt. It was actually used, and I think it's a little bit better. I do wish that on the Travis Scott belt, they took a little bit more inspiration from this. They did like the hardcore and the Champion and stuff and the WWE right there. But on the hardcore title, the classic one, it's missing a sidebar. They should have removed the sidebar there. They kept that one. I think that would have worked really good. Did more classic look to it. They should have did more of like the paint all over the hardcore title. They just did in a few spaces. But yeah, let me know. What do you guys like more? The classic or the new? It's time. Let's finally unbox the Cactus Jack Travis Scott hardcore title. So it comes in this brown belt bag with the old school WWE logo there. And then like this Cactus Jack on the side. This was sold at the Superstore and on WWE Shop for a short time for $1,200. But here the belt is. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I like this a lot. I've liked this since they first showed it off at his concert or whatever. So it is a network logo championship. It is the Undisputed, just kind of beat up and destroyed. So you have WWE here. This is like duct tape, but I don't know. It's not your standard duct tape. You have Hardcore there. You have Champion. It's all beat up. You have Undisputed there. The sidebars are destroyed. The side plates are destroyed, which I like a lot. Then over here you have Raw. The strap is really cool. It's really like stitched up. This is numbered. I think it's limited to 700, I believe. We have War there, and you have Cactus Jack. And then this one is number 84, which is a pretty nice number. These screws are covered on the back. And this is kind of cool because if you guys have been a longtime viewer of the channel, you know a couple years ago, we actually made our own hardcore title. That was a really fun series. So it's kind of cool that they did this. And I like the belt a lot. I mean, I definitely think it would have sold a lot better if it wasn't $1,200. Of course, I will have a longer video where we can showcase this a little bit better. Look at all the details. But yeah, I think it's pretty cool. In 2014, WWE.com released some exclusive images of some belts that they were planning to potentially replace the WWE spinner belt with, but they decided, of course, to go with the belt that The Rock debuted. And kicking us off, we have my favorite, which is this WWE logo here with the massive gems all around it. I think this one would have looked incredible. Next up, we have a crazy belt, which has the WWE logo getting attacked by an eagle, but the crazy part's the leather that's actually like feathers. Then next up, we have this one, which is probably my least favorite. It's kind of like motorcycle-y with like a shield with the WWE logo with flames. Would have been cool to see executed. Then we have this, definitely not my favorite, but kind of looks like the North American title, WWE logo on a red strap. And then finally, we have this crazy one with the WWE logo kind of getting pulled by chains. This one would have been really cool to see executed. Let me know, would you guys like to see any of these designs? And should we have some of these made? And if so, which one? In 2014, WWE.com released some exclusive images of some belts that they were planning to potentially replace the WWE spinner belt with, but they decided, of course, to go with the belt that The Rock debuted. And kicking us off, we have my favorite, which
Another belt, and I really need your guys' help. Should I keep this one or not? It is the NXT UK Championship, and it is re-leathered. So I do have the WWE UK Championship right there, but not this belt. And this thing is pretty nice. So it does have Pete Dunne side plates, even though he never actually held this belt. I do have the Pete Dunne box here with like the stock side plates, so I'll probably put those on. Then I also got some Austin Theory side plates, which I'll probably sell these if anyone's interested. But the re-leather on this is actually really nice. The leather's super floppy, and it feels great. There's the Pete Dunne side plates right there. The belt, when a belt is re-leathered like this, it feels so much higher quality. I don't really know how to explain it. But yeah, I'm really leaning towards keeping this. Unless you guys think I shouldn't, do I really need this belt when I have the WWE version right there? Let me know in the comments below. But yeah, or I'll just sell it. And I mean, I did not pay much for this, I'm not going to lie. It was not too expensive. So that's why I'm like, I probably should just keep it and add it to the collection. It's been a while since I added a belt to the collection. But then in that case, like what belt gets moved over here to make space for this? Let me know what you guys think. Let's take a look at my latest two pickups. So first off, we have another Universal Championship, the Red Universal Championship. And this thing looks brand new pretty much. It still has the like replacement gems. Crazy enough, this is like my third Red Universal Championship in 2 weeks. But yeah. Got the styrofoam and everything. Really nice belt. That is available for sale. And then, of course, we have the Attitude Era Intercontinental Championship belt. Another belt that is in really, really good shape. The belt is pretty much pristine, and it looks awesome. Two awesome belts. Honestly, I really like the Red Universal Championship. I hated it. Absolutely despised it when it first released. But I kind of like it a little bit more now. And this belt's kind of getting rare because it doesn't seem like Fanatics is going to be releasing the red or the blue again for whatever reason. And of course, the Attitude Era or the Ruthless Aggression at IC. Classic belt. I personally like it more than the white strap IC. But yeah, if you guys want these, you can DM me on IG, send me a message pretty much anywhere, or send me an email at wickbelts21@gmail.com or wickbelts@gmail.com, and maybe we can work out a deal. But yeah, pretty nice belts.
In 2023, WWE Shop released this beautiful Crumb Rind Big Gold. People have been asking for this Big Gold to be released for years, and WWE knocked it out of the park. Personally, I think this is the best affordable Big Gold on the market, but when they first released it, it had a massive problem that is unbelievable that it actually slipped by WWE like quality control, and also that they thought they could actually get away with it without people getting upset. So on the main plate, everything is flawless until you get to the fun. You see World Heavyweight Wrestling Champion, and then you realize the champion part right here, the ION is smaller than everything else. And at first, it doesn't bother you. But now that you see that it's a thing, it drives you absolutely crazy. Now, WWE Shop has rectified this issue. I don't believe that they actually sent people new ones if they complained. But on WWE Shop, if you get it now, your belt will have the ION at a normal font size. Can you believe this mistake actually happened? For me, I think it's wild. But it's not even the first time in the past couple of years that something like this has actually happened. It is time again for another mini belt unboxing. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the Undertaker 30th Anniversary Signature Series mini belt. Now, this is interesting. It's the first Signature Series to actually have a mini belt version, and this thing is huge. So here's my hand for scale. Most of the mini belt boxes are like this tall, so this is interesting. It's got the 30 years logo, the cross, Undertaker, then on the back, just got that black felt. You got the nice silver detailing, and this one is a little bit easier. I learned my lesson from the Stone Cold one from a while back where I tried to clasp it with one hand. So I actually already taken the belt out, but we lift it up and you can see just nice black velvet and the belt just sits right in there. But here is the actual mini belt. So it is the Silver Winged Eagle. Everyone really wants me to get this belt. Fun fact, I actually had this belt, had the limited edition one, the big full size that came with the urn, but WWE Shop actually sent it to me broken. I got a full refund for it. But you can see it has that Winged Eagle, silver look with the purple, this awesome strap with like a mosaic. I don't know if that's the right word, with the Undertaker's cross at the top. And then we have a special Undertaker 30th Anniversary side plate. Then the standard WWE old school logo for the Winged Eagle. Nothing special like in text-wise for the Undertaker, just wrestling champion. Same thing over here. Then the logo plate does say Undertaker with that classic logo. And then at the top, we have Rest in Peace. I'm a big fan of the Signature Series belts when they go the extra mile and they put extra work into it. Like the Hulk Hogan one is just a Winged Eagle on like a special strap. But this one, this Undertaker one, you get the special strap. Not only that, you get an all-silver Winged Eagle. Not only that, it's purple globe. Not only that, they actually add a second or a different side plate. So they went extra hard on this, and I appreciate it. I love this. I think this is $100. It can be on sale for $79. And I mean, this thing is absolutely huge for a mini belt. But I do thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you guys think about mini belts. Lately, we've been talking about the WWE spinner belt a lot on the channel. And some people have asked what a modern spinner belt would look like. And someone actually sent me one on Instagram. It was made by Jawad. I believe, I'm probably saying that wrong. But he did a concept of what the main plate of the modern spinner belt would look like, and he did some changes to it. I think it looks awesome. So, of course, it has the network logo in the middle, but instead of having the all gold behind the logo, he actually went with black, and I think it looks awesome. He also got rid of the nameplate because you don't need a nameplate because this belt would have custom side plates. Overall, I think this belt looks awesome, and honestly, I'm going to say it. I think we've been talking about the WWE spinner belt a lot on the channel, and some people have asked what a modern spinner belt would look like, and someone actually sent me one on Instagram. It was made by Jawad. I believe, I'm probably saying that wrong. But he did a concept of what the main plate of the modern spinner belt would look like, and he did some changes to it. I think it looks awesome. So, of course, it has the network logo in the middle, but instead of having the all gold behind the logo, he actually went with black, and I think it looks awesome. He also got rid of the nameplate because you don't need a nameplate because this belt would have custom side plates.
It is official, WWE has retired the Universal Championship. If you didn't know, ever since Cody Rhodes actually beat Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship, even though Cody still called it the WWE title, it was still on the website as Cody Rhodes was a WWE champion and a Universal champion. For whatever reason, I don't believe on Cody's stats they acknowledge that, and according to WWE.com, Roman Reigns is the last Universal champion. Now, the big reason why I think they did kind of discontinue the Universal Championship is because they had to, because if not, then John Cena would actually not be a 17-time world champion. He'd be an 18-time world champion. And I think they didn't kind of retire it right away, right when Cody won the belt, because that would kind of diminish Roman Reigns' like 1,000-day reign. It would kind of not really make sense for Roman Reigns' Universal title just be gone like that. I think WWE definitely does regret not having Roman Reigns be the WWE champion for 1,000 days. But yeah, what do you guys think? What did you think about the Universal Championship? We got a couple different belt designs. We got the blue Universal, we got the red Universal, we got this version, and we got the Fiend. Which one was your favorite?